Hey, it's Aaron here at Level Up Yoga, and today we're going to be doing something really simple. Today we're just going to be learning how to breathe better, how to breathe deeper, and once you figure this out, once you really practice it, master it, it'll change the game. So I feel like that's all I need to say. Roll out your mat, find yourself a comfy, quiet space. I'm gonna roll the intro and I will catch up with you when you get to your mat. So the breath is the most important and foundational aspect of our yoga practice. It's where we build every part of our practice. We follow our breath, we tune into our breath, we focus on the breath in meditation. And it's very common for people to come in and just not know how to breathe. And that's not saying that you're doing something wrong. It's not saying that there's something bad about not knowing how to breathe properly. It just is a common issue that we don't really get taught. We hold a lot of tension and tightness in our rib cage and in our bellies. And because of this tension and tightness, we just don't have the opportunity to use the full capacity of our lungs. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of a backstory. It's not so much a backstory, but an explanation as to why it's so important for us to breathe deeper, breathe fuller. In Sanskrit, the word that they use for breath is prana, and prana is the vital energy. It's our life force. So they look at the breath as our vital energy, and it also translates to more subtle energies. But when you look at prana in terms of the breath, we're drawing the breath in, we're drawing prana in, oxygen in. The oxygen is then filling our lungs, it's being pushed into our bloodstream, circulating our body, and literally the oxygen cells make up our physical cells. So our physical body cannot survive without prana, cannot survive without the breath. So each time you draw a breath in, you're revitalizing your entire physical body. So why not make that breath fuller and deeper and better, stronger? In Tibetan Buddhism, they believe that we only have a certain number of breaths in our lifetime. They say that you have this finite number of breaths, and once you've taken all of those breaths, you move on to the next life. So their belief is that if you can deepen your breath, if you can slow your breath down, you're going to extend your life. And I feel like Western science is starting to catch up with these Eastern theories, if you want to call it that a deeper, a fuller breath is going to, 1, relax you, 2, lengthen your life. It's just going to change everything. So we want to start to get into some physical practices that are going to support this. So the first thing I want you to do is simply just focus on how you're breathing right now. I want you to breathe in through your nose and then breathe back out through your nose. Maybe you'd like to close down your eyes. As you breathe, just notice where you're sending the breath. Most of you will be breathing into your chest. And you'll notice as you breathe in, your chest rises. As you breathe out, your chest falls. And so we're going to change that a little bit. We're going to not only breathe into our chest, but we're going to breathe into our belly. We call this our diaphragm. It's kind of a muscle at the bottom of our lungs. It pushes everything out of the way and it makes some extra space for lung capacity. So what we're doing is we'll place one hand on our chest, one hand on our belly. We're going to breathe fully into the belly. So stop, breathe back out. So as you're breathing, your chest isn't moving at all. Just breathing into the belly. Out through the nose. If you want to pause, you can pause. Practice this a little bit. If you're ready to move on, we'll move on. Breathe into the belly. Stop. Breathe into the chest. And then let it out. And you'll find when you add the two together, you have so much more space. So in through the belly, into the chest, then back out. And just keep it going for as long as you want. Belly first, then chest, back out. And you should really be able to feel how much more breath you're able to bring in. You're able to bring in more oxygen, there's more space for the oxygen, and you might even start to feel a little bit lightheaded, a little bit dizzy. And if that's the case, don't worry, it's totally normal. It's just a process of your body learning to draw in a bigger breath and process it. So the next thing we want to think about is the expansion and contraction of our rib cage. So you'll take your hands, spread your fingers really wide, then you'll tuck your thumbs kind of underneath your arms and spread your fingers wide. You'll grip your rib cage and just feel into where your rib cage sits in your body and how it moves as you breathe. So you'll breathe in, see if you can push your ribs out into your hands. As you breathe out, push your hands into your ribs. And you'll feel your rib cage expanding as you breathe in, contracting as you breathe out. Really feeling it. We're just becoming acquainted with how our body moves as we're breathing. It's this expansion and contraction, and we're expanding in all directions. So you're breathing in, you're expanding through the belly, through the chest, through the sides of your ribs, then releasing back out. And once you figure this out, once you build this awareness of this is where my lungs can expand, this is how I can move my body to accommodate this, your breath will change so much. Your yoga practice will change so much. Your meditation practice will change so much. I'm sure you can tell by now how excited I am about this because it's just changed my entire life. This kind of breathing is genuinely the only pathway to our rest and digest response. It's the only way to move out of anxiety, out of stress, and into a state where we can relax, we can rejuvenate, we can renew ourselves. And so it's a really important, not just yoga practice, meditation practice, a really important life skill that we should learn, cultivate, and then integrate into our daily life. So there's one more stage of this breath. The first stage is the yogic breath, the diaphragmatic breath. We're breathing into our belly, our chest, our rib cage is expanding. We're doing this fluently, we're doing this confidently, and it's just one big fluid breath in, fluid breath out. Fully in, fully out. So the next step is what we call the Jie Breath. Jie Breath is just, it's like a slight restriction in our throat. And what that does is allows us to make our breath more audible, along with make our breath slower. We're slowing it down. So it's kind of like if you have a pair of glasses or you have a mirror in front of you and you want to either fog your glasses up to clean them, fog the mirror up so you can draw something in it. So it kind of will, it's like a, just do it on your hand right now. As you do it, you'll feel like this sense of warmth on your hand. And along with that, you will hear your breath. It will become more audible. So we're using that restriction of the throat to slow our breath right down. So we're holding that restriction through the inhale and through the exhale to allow us to slow the breath down. And if you are feeling lightheaded by taking the big deep breaths, slowing it down using your Jie Breath will kind of subsidize that because your breaths are becoming longer. So it will sound a little like this. The sound doesn't need to be the loudest thing in the world. It just needs to be loud enough for you to hear it. Loud enough to keep you a little more aware of your breath. And also to slow it down. It's super simple. It may seem overwhelming right now, but the more you practice this kind of stuff, the better you're going to get at it. The more you practice yoga asana, so the movement side of yoga, the more you will create length and openness through your rib cage, through your belly. You'll have the space in your body to breathe deeper, and it will just open up so many doors. When you're moving through a asana sequence with your breath, this slow rhythmic breath will slow your practice right down. It will keep you aware of each movement. It's the foundation of our yoga practice. So go out in your day. If you're driving your car, you can practice breathing. If you're sitting at work doing emails, you can practice breathing. If you're standing at the supermarket deciding which apple looks the nicest, you can practice breathing. It's something that you can practice wherever you are. It's something that you literally do all day, 24 hours of the day. So make yourself accountable, hold yourself accountable. Practice your breathing. Get good at breathing. It's the best thing in the world. I'm sure you can tell how excited I get about this. I've been talking for like 15-20 minutes just about breathing. So have a go. Let me know how you go. You know how to contact me if you have any questions. Send me a message on Instagram, write a comment on the YouTube video, and make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the Level Up channel and do all the YouTube things, because I am going to be getting back into it. So if there's something that you want to learn, if there's something you want me to dive really deep into, yoga related, breath related, meditation related, leave a comment and I will make a new video. But for now, I'm gonna wrap this up. I feel like I've spoken about breathing for far too long. So Namaste, Jai Gurudev, and I will see you guys next time.